Would you like to know how to learn any skill or idea or concept a whole lot faster? That's what I'm going to show you in this video. 5 steps to learn anything you want to learn faster. So first I want to start with a metaphor so you can understand what the learning process is like. So the learning process is like a journey. Let's say you want to become one of the best writers in the world, or a best guitarist in the world, or you want to master some skill, or become, an incredibly skilled and knowledgeable physician or physicist or something like that. You want to either become really skilled or really knowledgeable in a certain area. That's what learning is. So learning is a journey. So to get from where you are, maybe a brand new beginner just starting out, learning the guitar for the first time, and you want to become a master guitarist, well, that's going to be a journey to get there. And so what does it take to actually make your way through a journey? It takes steps, right? So the number one thing you can do to learn faster is simply take more steps, right? So it's obvious and seems basic, but you'd be amazed how many people forget this, right? So if you want to become really good at guitar, practice for 5 minutes a day. Right? Practice every single day. The more often you practice, the better you're going to get. And then, of course, the more time you spend practicing, you'll also get better as well. But in the beginning, you really want to build up that habit by taking more steps. The more steps you take, the faster you're going to learn. And number 2 is you want to take better steps. So this is when quality comes into play. Right? So it's great if you want to go on YouTube and learn how to strum the guitar and learn some chords and learn some songs here and there. That's awesome. But you're going to get to a certain point where you're going to need to take better steps to accelerate your learning at a whole new level. So this is where you'd come in, you'd hire a coach or a mentor or a teacher or a trainer to take your skills to the next level. Right? So by taking better steps, by having better coaching and mentors to guide you, you're going to know what to do the right way, and you're going to learn better skills, better strategies, better habits of practice, and so forth that will help you accelerate your learning process a whole lot more. Now, the third way to learn faster is to take more conscious steps. And so this is all about being present. This is about really focusing when you're practicing, right? So when you're studying for a test, it means really studying. So not having a TV in the background. This means understanding the way distractions can actually cause you to learn so much slower and to not actually process your memory. So when you are distracted, like say, for example, there's a TV in the background, or you've got the door open and people are arguing outside and you get distracted, studies actually show that kind of overload of stimulation actually stops your short-term memories from being stored into long-term memory. So if you want to learn something better, you need to have an area where there's less distractions, where you're more focused on what you're doing. So by having more conscious steps, by being more present during the process, you can actually learn and master those skills a whole lot faster. So avoid multitasking, focus single-handedly on the task at hand, and you will get better by taking better and more conscious steps. Now, the number 4 way to learn faster is by reflection. So this is where you look back after a practice session, after a study session, after a class, and you reflect back on what you learn, right? So repetition is the mother of skill, right? So if you want to get good at something, you have to repeat it. If you want to remember something, you have to repeat it. So if you just take a course one time on a subject and you never review your notes and you never think again about that information, chances are it's not going to stay in your long-term memory for long. Right? So by reflecting on information, by thinking back on what you learned, how you can apply that to your life or to your business or to what you're working on, by simply reviewing and reflecting and thinking about those concepts later on, you actually cement them in your long-term memory a whole lot longer. And this is the same thing, works for any skills as well. So it's not just about taking a course, remembering information, but by reflecting on your guitar lessons, by reflecting on your writing sessions, by reflecting on, practicing a sport, by simply reviewing the plays in your head, by simply reviewing the steps and the process in your mind, that visualization actually helps, again, use those neural pathways to make them stronger and last longer. And so simply by reflecting and thinking back on things that you've learned about before, you can actually learn better and learn more. Now, step number 5 is preparation. And preparation is actually what you do before you start to learn something. So, for example, let's say you're going to go to a class, you're going to go to a cooking class, right? And you're going to learn how to cook pasta. And you've never cooked pasta before in your life. Well, if you show up to that class after watching a 5-minute YouTube video on making pasta, or after reading a recipe on making pasta, what you've done is you've primed your brain to be thinking about it. You've primed your brain with information. You now have some concepts and some ideas, some recipes in your head already. So when you go to that class, you're going to be way ahead of everyone else, right? You're going to be way ahead of what you would have been if you hadn't studied the stuff ahead of time. And so because you have that, you kind of primed yourself with that initial information, you can then go into that learning experience and ask better questions. But to learn more information, you can take your experience deeper. So you've prepared yourself to learn because you've already learned a little bit ahead of time. And so what happens now is that you're able to learn so much faster. So when you come out of that class, you'll be 2 or 3 or 4 times as far ahead as you of your knowledge as you would have been had you not prepared yourself by thinking ahead of time and actually starting to learn, study a little bit ahead of that experience. So if you've got some kind of big learning experience coming up, a class, a course, a study session, or just a practice session, prepare yourself ahead of time, and by priming your mind to thinking about those concepts and by putting some initial information and building that foundation of your knowledge around that area, you'll be able to learn a whole lot faster. Now, the final thing I want to share about is complementary skills. So when you're learning something, remember that there are complementary skills for everything. So for example, if you want to be, the best writer in the world, well, writing is a skill. But there are lots of other skills and concepts and information that you can learn that will help you become a better writer. So by learning complementary skills together, you can learn that single skill you want to focus on even faster. So for example, similar complementary skills to writing would be things like public speaking. So the better kind of public speaker you are, the better kind of communicator you are, the better you're going to communicate in the written word. The same thing with debating. So being in a debate club or something like that, by debating other people and sharing ideas and having conversations about discussions about ideas and topics and so forth, by learning how to communicate well in those environments, you'll become a better communicator as a writer as well. Same thing with marketing. By becoming a better marketer, you're going to learn the science and the psychology of persuasion, how to persuade people. And so understanding those concepts will help you become a better writer so you can write more engaging words, more engaging information and stories and nonfiction and prose and so forth that will actually get people more interested in reading what you write. Same thing with psychology. By studying psychology better and learning more about theory of mind and all these other concepts in psychology that help you understand yourself and other people better, you'll become a better writer. Same thing with storytelling. So if you learn how to tell really good stories, if you learn the structure of stories, you learn about myths and fairy tales and all these things, those skills will also help you become better writers. So when you're learning about a skill or an idea or a concept, you want to become better at it faster. Start thinking about what are the complementary skills, ideas, or concepts that I could learn that would help me learn this one skill even better and even faster. So another great benefit of learning complementary skills is that you'll actually be able to have a lot more fun and to actually study more. So for example, if you're studying, becoming a writer and all you do every single day for hours a day is just learn about writing and study writing and you just focus on that one topic, you're eventually going to kind of get burned out or bored a little bit, right? You start to kind of lose your motivation and you lose your mojo, right? But if you study these other skills and other ideas and you bring in new information, then what happens is you get more interested, you get more curiosity going, you get more motivation going to learn different things, and you're still learning that fundamental skill, but you're coming at it from different angles, right? You're building a stronger foundation of your knowledge, which is ultimately going to help you become a much better writer or speaker or whatever it is you want to be or whatever skill you want to master. So this is 5 ways to learn anything faster. Hope you found this video helpful. Please go ahead and like this video below. Please share this video with other folks you know who want to learn faster. All right, I'm wishing you an incredible day. Take care.